Let's talk about your last record, I Want Blood. When you finish the record and the record is made public, do you take your time to be proud of that record, or you just move over and start thinking of another one?
It's just kind of like once the record is actually released, that's kind of the end of that cycle. So that moves into what we're doing now, actually going out and playing it live. So, but it does feel good. It always feels good when, first and foremost, I have to be happy with it. I'm not, of course I want people to dig it, but I'm not really initially making a record for anybody other than myself. So, so as long as I'm cool with it, I'm already good, And then, once it does get out and people start responding to it, then that's just like icing on the cake,
Okay. And when do you feel that the record is finished and you are cool with it? It's a long process, or it just happens?
Yeah, no, it takes a while, records they take as long as they take. They can. I've done records in 7 days. I've done records in 6 months. So it takes as long as it takes. It usually takes me a period of months to write the material. Probably about 3-4 months generally to come up with the material for the record, and maybe a month or so of playing it with the band and and feeling it out live, and then going in the record, going into the studio and recording it. Then you gotta then there's the mix process, and I guess that's probably when it's done. Once you get it mixed, once you sign off on the mix, that's when it's pretty much done.
Okay, let's talk about the riffs. It's a matter of suddenly inspiration, or it's a hard work put in to find the good one riff for a song?
Both, it's kind of it's easy and it's fun, and that's how music should be, but it also takes a lot of hard work and a lot of focus, maintaining focus for long periods of time. But coming up with initial ideas and just jamming stuff, that stuff's more in the moment. It's just when you start getting into construction, that takes a little bit more elevated awareness, I guess, for longer periods of time. Just try things out. Most, talent counts. Talent does count, but in my experience, it's mostly about hard work and sticking to it, and not giving up.
You're the kind of guy that is always thinking about the riff and recording on the phone, maybe, or you just work in the studio?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. I'll be sitting backstage playing guitar tonight, up, and if I stumble across something, I'll put it down. And I usually don't write a lot when I'm in tour mode, and we're kind of in tour mode now. So, but what I will do is if I have any ideas, I'll record them so that whenever I get home and I get into that mode again where I want to start writing, I've got a whole bunch of ideas to go back through, and that are good ideas.
So. Okay, the record seems darker than the previous one, Brighton. That was a decision, or the songs presented themselves like that?
Yeah, I agree with your assessment. I guess initially, I don't think that Brighton is a light record by any means. I think there's some pretty heavyweight stuff, too. But I hear what you're saying. It's a little more aggressive and a little more hard hitting, but I like making music of all kinds, and I've always done that from the beginning. In my work with Alice, we did Facelift, and then we did Sap, and then we did Dirt, and we did Jar of Flies. So there's really not any place we couldn't go as a band, and myself individually. Of course, I'm part of that band, and so I like making all sorts of music. So I never sit down. I never sit down with a predetermined idea of what kind of song I'm going to write or what kind of record I want to make. I just get into motion, and I start listening to what is coming up. You know, if I've got 3 or 4 or 5 ideas that are kind of leaning toward a direction or a feel, then I'll follow it. You know, if you listen to the music, it'll tell you where to go.
Okay. In the 90s, you guys with Alice and on the whole grunge movement were making an historical shift in the music environment. Were you aware that you were making history, or it was difficult to take a perspective because you were part of it?
I mean, we were aware that that music was changing and culture was changing, and every generation brings that change, and that will continue on forever as it should be. So, but we were part of one of those movements, and you could tell things were changing and needed to change, and you felt like you were a part of that. So but again, keeping it very simple. We were just trying to write good songs and be a good band in our own town, which was also full of a lot of really good bands and musicians too. So that was basically our focus, things just kind of expanded out from there.
Yeah. Let's talk about Alice in Chains. When you restart the band with William, was a hesitation moment for you to start with William as a singer and guitar player?
No, because we invited him in. It wasn't a hesitation. I thought he would be good for the job, and he felt like he was up to the challenge. So we got together and started jamming, and it worked out nicely. He's a very talented member of the team, and he earned the right to be there.
And the records are beautiful. Can we expect another one?
I'm working on this record right now.
Oh, yeah.
Put a record out a couple of weeks ago, so.
No, your solo record, yeah, I know.
We'll let you know.
Okay, I guess we will be aware of the new record of Alice in Chains. Okay, so thank you very much for doing this. Hope to see you tonight, and thank you for being in Argentina one more time.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right.